everybody, welcome to today's video where we are going to try every single blueberry muffin mix that I could get my hands on. Okay, this is the video. We're going to try every single blueberry muffin mix that I could find. Much like many other videos, this was inspired by Trader Joe's. Here's what's up. I saw this at Trader Joe's the other day and I was like, well, that's interesting. Their pumpkin bread mix actually slaps the house. So I was like, oh, that might be good. And then I was like, oh, I remember my mom used to make these, the Betty Crocker wild blueberry muffins, all the time, anytime I had a sleepover. So that's why we're in like sleepover pajama vibes. And so I have a lot of good memories with these, but she also, here's the fun trick. Her mom used to make this really amazing blueberry syrup out of the blueberries that come in here. So she actually sent me that recipe in my grandmommy's handwriting, which is right here. And I love it so much. And I haven't had it in years because I make my own muffins now. Like I so seldomly get a box of muffin mix that I was like, you know what, that might be fun to just like throw all this together and try it out. That's what we're doing today. And I'm very excited because we haven't done a let's try every blank video in so long. So I think we need to get started. The other surprise was I didn't know Jiffy made blueberry muffin mix. This will be fun. So we have Jiffy, Trader Joe's, Duncan Hines, which has like a streusel top. So we'll see how that goes. Betty Crocker, a classic. And we have Krusteaz. Krusteaz. I'm gonna call it Krusteaz. I have 5 mixing bowls here. I have everything I think we're gonna need. Here's the thing. I'm going to make these muffins exactly how they tell me to. I'm not gonna use any of my tricks that you guys have seen in my videos before. One of these is asked to bake at 425. The other is at all the others are at 400. I'm just gonna have my oven be at 400. And instead of milk, if they call for it, I'm just gonna use buttermilk because that's what I have. But also that's something you can do to elevate your boxed muffin mix if you so choose. Each thing's gonna have a bowl. Now I'm gonna go through the wet ingredients for each one. I lied. Here's how I'm gonna start. Okay, so since we're gonna bake these basically all at the same time, I'm just gonna throw some liners in my muffin tins. I know I don't normally do that, but I think it might help. And since it's March, we're gonna use little clovers for St. Patty's Day. So I've got that sorted out. I'm gonna make 3 of each box. I'm gonna take this, let's see if this is gonna work. I'm gonna take this dry erase marker and next to each one I'm gonna put like, so this is gonna be the Jiffy one. Then we're gonna do the Trader Joe's one. I hope this doesn't like bake into my pan, but oh well. Duncan Hines will be these. We'll do, what's the other one? Krusteaz will be these. I think it's working. Betty Crocker will be these. That's all sorted out. Killer. Let's get the wet ingredients into each thing. So this one, I need a cup of butter melted. Now here's the thing that's weird about that. The reason I'm not fully believing in the all butter one is because muffins need a little bit of moisture, and while butter can give a little bit of that, it's better to have like a pure fat source do that. And butter is fat and dairy, so there's milk solids in there. So that's why it sometimes isn't as moist if you're using only butter. Got 10 tablespoons of butter. Let's melt this. As for the other, we only need water and oil for the other ones. And how many eggs are we gonna need? 8, 9, 10. Okay, 10 eggs. That's melted enough. Okay, so into our Trader Joe's bowl, we're gonna put our melted butter. Gorgeous. And we'll let that sit just so it cools down for a minute. Okay, so the Trader Joe's ones has these freeze-dried blueberries, which I don't know if I trust. I'm gonna put their little name tags right underneath their bowl so I know which one is which. Pour dried blueberries into a small bowl and cover with water. Here's the thing. In these other blueberry muffin mixes, we're gonna see that they have these little tiny wild blueberries. And I love those in blueberries, honestly. Sometimes when I'm making my own muffins, I'm like, oh, I kind of miss those ones. So these are now covered. Are you seeing this? And we're gonna let them rehydrate. The water is already so blue, so purple. Let's add our half a cup of milk. Oh, are we gonna have enough milk? Yay. Let's, okay. This is trickier than intended. I am really excited to show you guys the thing that my mom always makes, the blueberry syrup, because that is a real treat, and that's something I also miss when I make blueberry muffins myself, because it's just so like sentimental. It's also f***ing delicious, so that's part of it. We have all our stuff sorted. Let's throw our eggs in the bowls. How about that? How are we feeling? I'm proud of myself. I think I'm actually crushing this. 1/2 cup of buttermilk in Trader Joe's. 1/3 of a cup for Jiffy. Betty Crocker is 2/3 of a cup of water. So we'll do 2/3 of a cup of buttermilk. Krusteaz, 2/3. In Simple Mornings, gorgeous. We had quite literally just enough buttermilk, which is nice because now I don't have to waste this. Now we move on to our oil. And see, all of the other ones use oil, which I like a lot more. Actually, Jiffy doesn't use any. Oh wait, shit. Jiffy doesn't use any, but they need less milk than I thought. So I'm just gonna pour a little of that milk out. Why is it always so hard to open oil containers? I do not understand. You would think it would be like slippery. Krusteaz, where is she? We need 1/2 cup of oil. Jiffy, none. Duncan Hines, 1/3. Great. Betty Crocker, 1/3. Great. We're vibing. How are our weird blueberries doing? I'm hating the Trader Joe's blueberries, if I'm being honest. Who's to say? Maybe they'll turn out great. Okay, so now we're gonna add the dry ingredients in. Okay, so we're adding Trader Joe's in. It feels very like almond floury. Also, all of these are letting you know that they might be kind of lumpy, which is a great tip for baking muffins and quick breads. Perfect. Sometimes they're gonna be lumpy. You don't wanna over mix it. It's just like what I always tell you guys. We're not making bread here. We're making like a nice, light, fluffy pastry. So we do not want a lot of gluten development. So this can is what's gonna make our beautiful syrup, but we're not gonna do that just yet. Let's just get some sizzies, eh? The smell of blueberry muffin mix is like one of my favorite things in the whole world. It reminds me of just like Saturday morning, waking up from a sleepover, smelling these. My mom has the syrup in the, it's just like so memory. Jiffy, which I really did not know that they made. So I'm excited for these. Very little, like the blueberries in here are tiny. They look like chocolate chips almost. Now this has a streusel topping that I'm supposed to do something with. Is this already made? They're not telling me to do anything with it, so I guess so. Oh, this has a can of blueberries too, okay. Is this like whole wheat or something? What is this? I don't think I've ever had this one before, but I'm very interested in their streusel topping. That is actually so unique. So I'm gonna give this just a cursory whisk to sort of get everything going, and then I'll start folding it in. Or maybe I won't. Okay, actually, get you out of there. Okay, we'll just scrape and scrapey scrape. That's fine. This is our Trader Joe's one. She is already thick. And again, we're not trying to create gluten, so we're just like kind of throwing this together, and I still have to fold in my blueberries. So we'll just leave it at that for right now. Now my favorite, my baby, my Betty Crocker. Just a little mixy, mixy, mix. See, still nice and lumpy. So now what we're gonna do is the special sauce. The ones that have these cans is they all say, rinse and drain blueberries thoroughly in cold water and set aside. I've forgotten to do that. We are not going to rinse them. We're going to get our can opener and get a measuring cup. Get a measuring cup you can put in the microwave. Let me actually see, because I want to see my grandmommy's writing. Collect liquid when you drain canned blueberries. I pour a little water over them, collect that too. Add water to make 1 cup. Mix together 3/4 of a cup of sugar, 1 or 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, and a dash of salt. Add liquid, cook until thickened, remove from heat. Add a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla and a tablespoon of butter. So cute. Okay, so I've got my strainer and I have my little measuring cup. I so vividly remember my mom doing this for us all the time, and it was so sweet, and everyone in our family loved it. All of my friends loved it. Okay, and obviously always when you're opening cans, be gentle, be careful, don't be stupid like I'm about to be. We're gonna save all of this juice. I'm just gonna pour out the majority of it. I'm gonna pop these in here. So now they're like this. We have about 1/3 of a cup of liquid. So I'm gonna rinse these in cold water, which grandmommy always collects this little rinse off water too. So now they're rinsed off, and we have a little over 1/2 cup of water. So then what we do now is we fill it up to 1 cup. We get a little pot. We're gonna pour this in our pot. We're gonna get 3/4 of a cup of sugar, tablespoon of cornstarch. Let's do a tablespoon and like a little bit. And our pinch of salt. So we're gonna put this over, I'd say probably like medium heat. And I'm just gonna start whisking this together. Oh my God, it's such a pretty color. So just whisking this until it comes together and all that sugar dissolves. So the reason I'm so excited about this blueberry syrup, A, because of all the memories I told you about already. Did you forget? And B, because I think it's really cool that this is something my grandmommy taught my mom and I can still talk to both of them about it, which I love. So you guys know in, not last week's video, the week before, where I showed you guys all of my vintage cookbooks, I really enjoy looking at them because it reminds me of like, wow, this is like the stuff that our grandparents taught our parents to make and now we're making it. And this was probably something that was like on the back of the muffin box that my grandmommy made for my mom. And it's just really sweet to think about. It makes me really happy. We're gonna let her thicken up. Let's open these other cans of blueberries. I'm gonna plop this one in there. With the other one, since I'm already making that syrup and I don't need like 15 pounds of the syrup, I'm just gonna, drain the juice. But yeah, see, these wild blueberries are like so little. They look like caviar. Still whisking that guy. I will tell you what though, this is the difference in making your own, is like, there's so few blueberries in here. In my recipe from I don't know, a couple months back, whenever it was, there's like 2 cups of blueberries in there. So these might just be a little more sparse, which isn't bad, just not good. Okay, taking it off the heat. We're gonna add our tablespoon of butter. We're just mixing her in. And let's add a splash of vanilla. Oop. Oh, that was a lot. Okay, well. And we're just gonna plop it right back into this original jar. See, look at that color. So this absolutely gorgeous purple concoction that we just made is going to sit off to the side and thicken up a little bit. In the meantime, we're going to fold in all of these blueberries. Hold on, so sorry, I forgot to do this one. Did I forget to, or do I just not want to? Although, now that I'm seeing it, they are the most amount of the blueberries that we're getting. Again, the reason we fold these in so gently, it's just so that they don't break and like streak your muffins. But if they break, that's okay. A little tie-dye muffin is cute. Trader Joe's. Here we have Betty Crocker, my tried and true. See, they're just so little, the blueberries in these ones. It's kind of cute. Okay, Betty Crocs. You guys remember Jiffy already had their blueberries mixed in for us, which is fun. Crusties. Do you guys pronounce it Crusties or Crust-easy? Let me know in the comments because I'm very curious actually. Okay, and then finally, Duncan Hines, Simple Mornings. Oh my God. Now the other thing that these are telling us to do is every single one of these boxes says to fill your muffins up 2/3 of the way. So that's what I'm gonna do because I follow directions. I'm a rule follower and that's cool too. Okay, this is the Jiffy, Trader Joe's, and then Duncan Hines, Simple Mornings. Okay, you guys know how much trouble I've had with streusel in my life. So I'm curious if this one's just gonna absolutely rock the house. We have Simple Mornings, Trader Joe's, Jiffy, so Crusties, and Betty Crocker. Now, we're gonna put them all in the oven, rotating halfway through, just like we always would. I'm very excited to see what happens here, and I'll see you guys in like 10 to 15 to 17 minutes. Okay, so I've just pulled out the Jif, Trader Joe's, and the Duncan Hines Simple Mornings. And I'll tell you what, the Duncan Hines streusel is actually held up so beautifully. So that's fun. And then the Jif one, it's like a little gradient. It's like the printer was losing ink. These ones got a lot darker, which leads me to believe that maybe they have more sugar in them. I cannot tell you how good it smells in this apartment though. They are already steady. I mean, honestly, maybe I'm biased, but I think the Betty Crocker ones look the best. We're gonna let these cool for just a second while I show you our absolutely gorgeous syrup that we made. Look at this, come here. Like, can you see how pretty the color is? Oh my God. And it's nice, it's thick, but it's not like, gloopy. Maybe it's a little too thin, who knows? Tastes like a friggin' dream though. I'm gonna try 1/4 of the muffin with just plain butter. I'm gonna try 1/4 of the muffin with the butter and syrup. I just have my Organic Valley salted butter to eat them with. Okay, so this one I know is Jif. Oh, you know what? I totally forgot to grease these. Okay, so these might all stick, which wouldn't be fun. Whatever, that's enough. I'm not trying any of them yet, even though it's killing me when these little pieces fall off. Oh, they baked up so, ow, nice. These are so hot. I'm so stupid. I'm gonna put a little piece of butter on each one. Here's where we're at. So cute. Starting with Krusties. It's very good. The texture's wonderful. Very like classic box blueberry muffin flavor, which you know I love. Good for you, Krusties. Let's move on to Simple Morning. We have our streuse on there. Okay, so this one is for sure less sweet, which is not bad. It's not great. Like if you want, this is a really good blueberry muffin, is what I'm trying to say. The streusel is actually really nice on there. This one feels like a little more whole wheaty almost. Out of 5, I would give Krusties a 4.5. I would give Simple Mornings a 4. Now let's try Trader Joe's with the dehydrated blueberry, which I'm still trying to get behind. The whole impetus for this video was me trying the Trader Joe's ones, and I really did not think they were gonna be as moist as they are. However, I think it probably won't stay as moist over the next couple days if you don't finish these all right away. But for right now, it's perfectly fine. Not my favorite, but not bad. If you're like exclusively a Trader Joe shopper, for sure try these out. I give that one a 3, 3.5. This is the Jif one. This is the one I was most curious about because I had never seen it before. That one actually kind of reminds me of like Jif cornbread. It's got a little more bite to it, but you can tell that there's not an egg in it. It just doesn't have quite the same amount of fluffiness as the other ones. Can we focus on what's important, which is the muffins, please? Trader Joe's has 3 eggs and has this nice bounce. This one is not quite as much, but that's fine. It still tastes good, which is ultimately what matters. Now Betty Crocker, my favorite, my mommy's and mine. Looks gorgina. I mean, I love it so much. It's perfect. Oh, the Jif was actually a 3.5 also. The Betty Crocker is a 5. I'm gonna be honest, like let's be real. So perfect. It's such a perfect muffin. It's not like it's like blowing these other ones out of the park, but it's just like, I'm fatal, I love it. It reminds me of my mom. It reminds me of sleepovers. It reminds me of simpler times and simple mornings. But I just think it's wonderful. So now let's try some of this gorge syrup I keep telling you guys about. Oh, look at this. It's so good. I'm gonna try it on all of them. I haven't had it in years. And my mom and I, when we bake together, we usually bake something like from scratch, so the moral of the story is, if you're gonna make blueberry muffins from the box, get the Betty Crocker kind. Or if you don't have the Betty Crocker kind near you, get some that have the can of blueberries in it so you can make my mom and grandmommy's famous blueberry syrup. It's been quite a while since we did one of these trying every blank. Please let me know in the comments what you would like me to try everything of next. I miss doing these a lot, so I'm really excited to continue it. Yeah, let me know in the comments below. Also, who did you think was gonna win? And were you correct? Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, and check me out on Patreon. Okay, bye.